Doc upset about. When they're red like that, it means that they're upset about something. He's cold. So what about his health? Is his health okay? Okay, he's shivering from hypothermia. Hey guys and gals, welcome to a new Let's Play. We are going to be playing Rimworld. Now I watched this game probably about sometime early last year when it first was really announced out, and it was just for sale where, you know, off of its own little page, and it was in like Alpha 1 or 2, something like that. It's a long time ago. I've been watching it for about a year, year and a half, and never really committed to it because it just, to me, it was kind of like a tower sim. You know, you build up, you try and stay alive, and you just keep getting bombarded and bombarded by stuff. Eventually it getting harder and harder and harder to the point to where you can't win. You can't do anything. What in the last 2 months, they've made a lot of considerable changes, and the game actually, they've added some really cool stuff, and I really kind of like the way that it's gone. So I'm going to play a casual Phoebe base builder, which means that basically about between every 5 and 10 days or so, I'll get an attack by pirates, you know, and the constant here and there of good things and bad things happening around my base itself. And the good and bad stuff to my base is what I'm after, not necessarily the pirates. I'm not really, you know, all into the whole constantly being barraged by pirates and bad guys and all this other stuff. Now I've made a world. We're going to select it, and I'm going to play in a I've started this Let's Play 3 times now and recorded about an hour each time, and I've done it in 3 different places so far. I played for a little over an hour in a temperate forest. I played for a little over an hour up in the colder in the boreal forest, and I played for about 45 minutes in a tundra. I've played in the mountains, I've played on flat land, etc. And I basically just personally enjoy a flat, temperate forest that runs really kind of gets a little to the cold side, like that one, -6 or so in the winter, and then up to 71 or so. I'd like it to be a little warmer than that. I mean, a little cooler than that. Maybe we can get something over here. 70. Yeah, I guess 70 is about as good as we're going to get, which is not bad. That means that it'll be about 80 degrees most of the time, which is livable. What about up here? It's about the same. All right, so we got granite and sandstone, limestone, marble, and granite. Yeah, or granite and sandstone, or granite, marble, and sandstone. So do we want limestone or sandstone? I think we'll go with granite, marble, and sand. Or yeah, we'll do the limestone. Forget it. We'll go right there because that's the highest. -6.3 and 70.6. Now we'll go to advanced. Close. May, June, July, August is the growing period. A lot of this stuff has changed if you haven't noticed. You now have growing periods where things can be grown and can't. I don't know how long it's been in the game, but we're going to start out in May. Nah, it's May, so we're going to start in April. That'll give us a full month before the growing season starts. And yeah, let's select the site. Now, here's my personal little deal with this thing. You can sit here for 5 hours and just rotate through these guys, just constant, random. All right? But that doesn't really play into the game for me. It really doesn't. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take, and unless they've got some really bad negatives, I'm going to keep whatever I get. Now, the only thing that I want to make sure that I get is that I get somebody with really good shooting skill. And I've got 2 people so far that can't shoot, and 1 that can shoot in melee but can't do anything. So I'll randomize this guy until I get incapable of none, and then see if I can get some shooting. Ain't got to be a lot, just, you know, there we go. 6. He's industrious and he's a careful shooter. That'll be my Inzainia. And that was about what, 3? So we go with about 3 per if they need it. All right, there's my cook. He's incapable of dumb labor and cleaning. I have yet to ever see a cook, a chef, that was not incapable of dumb labor and cleaning. All right, now let's randomize this one a few times. I need a cook. I need somebody that can cook. I've already got one. He's over 6. So this guy really doesn't matter. So let's just get him to where he's not incapable of anything. Because I want to start the game with all 3 of my guys. There we go. Now, can he shoot at least or no? Crafting and cleaning. I want to get none with at least some shooting or melee. Incapable of none. So I'm not going for a specific thing here. I'm just trying to find incapable of none, no negatives. And can at least shoot. That's a 3. Come on, give me at least a 4 or a 5. 3. Nothing really bad. And oh, that'll work. That'll work. All right, and this will be Doc. I'm not trying to randomize the system to the point to where I spend 20 minutes doing it. It's my point. All right, what was this guy? This guy is Cookie. This guy is going to be my cook, and he'll do whatever else. Now, I've got 3 people that can do anything. They don't have any negatives except for prosophoba. Or he's a prostophobe. Basically, he wants to be bionic. So let's start. Boom, ba, da, boom. All right, so basically, we wake crypt sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens ripping metal. We jump in the escape ponds and land on this planet. And this is a pretty good little planet. Lots of open space. Enough stuff to mine to where we're not going to run out. Buffalo! All right, so let's pause the game to start. Let's get stuff going. All right, there's a few things that you really need to worry about at the very beginning of this game to keep your sanity up. And it seems to me, at least. Now, I'm going to be kind of playing this like a tutorial, but it's really a Let's Play. Because even though I'm talking about a lot of stuff, I'm only really going in on the things that I actually absolutely know about. A lot of this stuff I don't fully understand. I don't know. I just know enough to get by and to get stuff going. Like I just undid all that silver, and I really don't need to. So we're going to leave all that silver right where it's at, but we're going to get the wood, because the first couple things that we need to do is get some rooms and houses. Now, a lot of people like to build like a big shack and put 6 or 8 beds in there, and then that's where everybody sleeps. I don't do that. I do 6 by 6 rooms, and that's the open area in the room with a wall around the outside, a door, and then that little house is each individual person gets one. That's just how I roll. And my guys, they get everything that they can possibly get to be as comfortable as humanly possible, so that I don't have to deal with all the breaks and all the mines and all the going insane, and I can't struggle. I can't living next to Doc anymore because he smells like cheese or whatever. I don't have to deal with all that. First things off, though, there's 3 weapons that you start with. And who was my best shooter? So let's just hit period or comma to grab our first guy, go into character. All right, we got 3, 3, and 6. So Inzainia is my shooter. That's not great, but it'll suffice. So we're going to have Inzainia equip the Lee Enfield rifle. Now that's a long-range rifle. It's kind of slow to shoot, but it hits a little harder than the pistol, and it's got a much longer range. All right, let's go. What's the next guy? Oh wait, I got a comma. So we got Cookie's shooting is 3, and Doc's shooting is 3. So it really doesn't matter which one has the worst. Their melee's the same, but Cookie's got a small passion for it, so he'll earn 1% better, or learn it at 1x, I guess 100%. So we're going to make Cookie equip this knife, and we're going to have Doc equip this pistol. That way they've all got weapons. We're going to hit space, let them go do that. Now that's one of the varying differences in this game between it and a lot of the others that you use, these little city builders, colony builders, you know, things like Gnomori, Clockwork Empires, some of the Stone Hearth, a lot of the other ones that we play, Timber and Stone, or that I play. These are all games I play. This is the game. If you took all of the games out of the world and you left this genre game, I could survive. I'd be content. I wouldn't necessarily be happy, because I like all types of games. But this is my bread and butter. Factorio, No Moria, Rimworld, Timber and Stone, Stone Hearth, you know, those style of games. Dwarf Fortress. I love Dwarf Fortress. I don't do a Let's Play on Dwarf Fortress, and that's mainly because Dwarf Fortress is just, it's for me, it's fun in spurts. I'll play it for a couple hours and I won't play it for a month because I burned out on it a couple years ago. So even with the new 2014. Anyhow, back to this game and what we're talking about. We've got them equipped with weapons. You can individually select somebody and tell them to manipulate or interact with an item that's on the ground, which is great. He can't haul it because there's no place to put it because I haven't designed or set up a stockpile yet. So we're going to go into the architect. We're going to go to zone. We're going to stockpile. And we're going to set one up right here just at the very beginning. Here we go. This is our building. I'm thinking we're going to build our houses here. Do we have, oh, we do right there. So we might build our houses over here. Yeah, we might build our houses over here. And we'll run with some air, wind turbines to start. And then tie into this as soon as we can get geothermal researched. So we'll put some houses up right here, which means it will end up canceling this. Remove zones, remove zone, delete zone. Alright, and let's go with a stockpile. Whoa, I think that's fertile ground. Is it? Mud. I don't know if there's any fertile ground in the game anymore. I know it used to have it. Grass and snow. That's gravel. You don't want to grow on gravel. Mud, soil. That's all would be good for growing. So we're going to put our houses up here out of the way. All right, so we're going to do a stockpile. We'll say we'll build it right there. That way it'll be close. We'll build houses on this side, farms around in here, and then our workshops and stuff down here. That's the goal at least. All right, so we've got some basic wood, not a lot, but let's unpause it so they can start toting stuff to that stockpile. They'll come get this wood. We've got, what, 100, 200, about 300 wood or so, which will be enough to get us started building some houses. So you go to structure, you click on the wall, the door, whatever it is you want to buy, or build rather, and then you select the material you want to build it out of. I want to build these out of wood right now. Now these rooms are going to be 7 by 7. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 7. And then a door. And a door. Let's pause the game so that I can make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where I messed up last time. And I'm glad that I looked at all this just now. All right. Because this needs to be 6 by 6 inside, which is 1. Let's just do this. You can go to orders and you go to plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 6 by 6 with a wall in the middle, and then a walkway, and then another wall, and then another 6 by 6. That's just how I do it. I know it's going to take a massive amount of space. There's going to be houses all through here, all nothing but houses. Eventually, as I gain people. But until that point, I'm not going to be concerned with it. I like it the way that it goes. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. I know that symmetry is off. I get that ahead of time. I like to have my doors in the middle. But, you know, you do what you got to do. So, there we go. And the reason that I'm leaving the gap in between them is so they can walk in between the houses. I've learned that with personal housing, it's all individualized. In other words, I'll have to have a heater in here, I'll have to have an AC in here, I'll have to have a light in here, and I'll have to have a bed in here. That's just, there's no way around that. That's what's going to happen. You know, there's no way around it. I've tried figuring out a way to centralize them all with general, like one air conditioner heating up all of it. And any way you go about it, you either have to take their doors off so that the cold air can get into the rooms, which then makes all of the rooms shared bedrooms, or something. There's something that always goes against it, against being able to do it. I've yet to figure out a way to do it. If you know a way to do it, you have a Let's Play or a video or a picture or whatever of a way to do it, or a good brief description of how to do it, leave a comment. I'd love to get a comment on it. But for right now, oh, that's wrong. Nope. Well, we'll take it off in here in a second. We're going to go like that, go over 2, take that across, that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7. Come down, and this should go over 3. Yes. All right, and we'll cancel this one wall. Now we will go to doors, and I use auto doors off the bat. They're 75 wood, or no, they're actually like 6 wood. But there's no sense in building regular doors and then just having to tear. Oh wait, no, I did get that too far over, didn't I? Yes, I did. But this is the good thing about it. Boom, it's gone. All right, so wooden door. That was actually supposed to be right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's all right. It's easy to fix. And then you put a wooden door there, and there we've got 3 bedrooms coming in, and let them get back to work. Another thing I need to start prepping and start getting ready for. This is all soil. You can see the brown. So let's go to architect zone, and we're going to set up a growing zone. I like to do these in 5x5 groups, and I can't write there. So let's go down one more. There's 5x5, 5x5, 5x5. We'll have to move those rocks. 5x5, 5x5, and 5x5. Now what we'll do is we'll set another stockpile up right here, and we'll go into the options, which you go in right here, and we will clear all and make that just for chunks. We will also figure out where we're going to put. I'm thinking along this side we'll put our building construction stuff, because we need a lot of stuff. I mean, the first hour of this game is just really go. It's a lot of stop and pause, design, all right, go. Stop and pause, design, all right, go type things, because I've got so much stuff that I've got to get going. I've got to get some trees cut. That'll be good. I've got to get some things moved. So you go to the hall, click on these things to get them out of these. I'm only right now going to worry about the ones that are actually inside the zones. We have to go into cut plants. We have to get rid of that. I don't know if you have to do this, the cutting the plants. I know you have to cut the trees, these little trees that you can't cut down. But that'll prepare our growing area, get all this stuff moved up here, building these houses, getting the houses going. I can cancel all of this to get rid of that initial, plan, because I've already drawn it out. All right, now we need to get rid of these. We're going to have to clip that one. How long before it's 31 days? I'm not waiting 30 days. So we're going to go to cut plants. Cut plants is how you get rid of a tree that's undergrown or a bush or anything like that that you need to get rid of. Now, you don't have to necessarily do that. You can just build, but I don't want to build and destroy. I want to build and gather. So we're going to go into structure, wall, and we're going to build, actually let's go into orders, and we want a room for prisoners, which we're going to put right here. Now this, I'm just designing here. I'm going to draw a big square. We need 2x2 bedrooms. So I like to have it go like this, 2, and then 2. So I need to make that bigger. All right, with a space down the middle, and then 2 more. So it actually only needs to be that big. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take, and that'll be the wall, And no, actually I do need that much. I need that much for wall. So I've got to come out to here. And that's fine. There we go. Like that. And then we'll put a bed there, there, and there. And I'll just go up 2 more. Alright, that'll work. And then we'll get rid of that. And this will be the beds, basically, what I'm drawing in right now. Actually, this last one I don't put in, I'm sorry. I only put 5 beds in. Because then here in the end, I put a square table for them, and then 4 chairs. Places for them to sit down and eat. Alright, so that's going to be that. Now we need right here I like to put, and I'll do it off this corner, I like to build a 1, 2, wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 5. And then, what, 2 spaces on the bottom, 3 spaces on the bottom. A 5 in that, okay. Now what I'm building now is a hospital bay. So this will be empty. Because that'll be a bed, a bed, a bed, a bed, and a bed. With a doorway coming in right here. Coming into the hospital bay. And then I'll put a little 2 by whatever stockpile down here, a row, for the individual med packs for these guys. Because you have to refrigerate the other med packs. Alright, so we've got our prisoners. We got a place for our medicine, a med bay. Now we need a crafting area. And a crafting area basically is going to be, we need, let's just do this. And then go to cancel, it's easier. So we need a 3, then a space. So that'll be 1 table. So we can put a door here. And then a 3 for another table. Which means that the room only needs to be that wide. Alright. And then we'll go with a 3 there for another table. And we'll actually leave that wall there because we're going to make that the outside wall. Which means that we won't need this wall. And then we'll put a 3 there. And a 3 there. Alright. So that means that all of this can be gone. Because we'll have a table there. Actually, I'll move that table over 1. I don't like them all clumped up together. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 crafting tables in there. And then we'll get rid of this wall. No, we'll get rid of, well, we got that wall. But we need a wall. I'll probably do it there. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't like it being open on the outside. Alright, they'll just have to come out and then over to here. Or come out and over to here, rather. And get their stockpile, because that's where I'm going to now cancel that zone. This is why it's good to not do your zones until after you've gotten all this stuff done. Alright, so we're going to put that zone here. And we're going to set this up for chunks only. Clear all. Just chunks. Prioritize it as critical. That way they'll move the chunks there. They'll go there first. This stockpile will eventually be indoors. I'll shrink it up 1 and then build walls, you know, out to about here once I've mined into here. Because this is where I'm going to get my first group of mining done at. And I think we're good to let them go for a little bit now. Let them get to work. So we've got the design down. I don't want to build these walls yet and stuff and set it down because I want them to get their houses going first. In fact, we can go into architect, into furniture. We can go to wood bed and put them a wood bed inside each place. Now I like to put the beds in the corner. There's their bed. We'll get them a light. Put a light right. A lot of people put their lights in the middle of the room. I don't like it. I think it looks tacky. So we'll put our lights like right there. Yeah. And then we will go to temperature and build heaters in these corners, which means that I also need to go to production, or no, it's power, and get one of these turbines down. And I'm going to put it right here. Now the big long area is the direction the wind is coming, so I can put one there, and I can put one there, but I can't. I'm just going to build it right off the back of the house like so. Now I might have to cut some trees and stuff down here, but I don't yet. Now actually, let's cancel that. I want a space along the house so that I can run the wires, and we'll come in some, so that'll be good. All right, and they've got a lot that they're doing, so they're going to be busy. What are you doing? Oh, he's already growing. So, oh, I forgot to set up the things. All right, potatoes and potatoes, strawberries and strawberries, Zerigium, and cotton. Where you at? There you are. Now that's how I do it. Now I will eventually put another couple fields, or change one of these strawberries or potatoes into either a cotton if I need it, or a Zerigium. Or I'll put another field like right here, and then another one right here, which I've got all this room to put fields into. I could put 4 more right here. But for this, particular right now, I don't want them overworked. Although that's really not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and do a couple more. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4, 5 by 5, and then 5 by 5. That's why I left all this extra room, so that I could put more plants in. And we'll go to here, and I'll go to grow. I want another cotton. We'll go to this one. I'll go to grow, and I want another Zerigium. Now, what these are, potatoes and strawberries are food, of course. You can use those when you go to make a cooking table, which we're going to put somewhere, probably right here. You use a cooking table to cook food. Well, you use it to prepare meals. Now you can prepare a regular meal, a fine meal, or a lavish meal. A regular meal will just eat. They'll eat it, and that's all. It uses any 10 items of anything, and it makes a single ingredient, and it makes a meal. Now you can make a fine meal, which uses 5 vegetables and 5 meats, and it will give them a bonus of +5. They ate a fine meal. It gives them a positive +5 morale bonus for the entire day. So they'll keep that so long as you keep making them. So we are going to jump straight to them as soon as I can get Inzainia out hunting. Right now we've got just the little ration packs, which do nothing except fill them up. That's all it does. It just gives them a bite to eat. So we will get Inzainia out hunting, because we had all them freaking muffalos right there. And but I need him right this moment for this first day or so to be kicking in, helping cut trees, helping move stuff, carry stuff, get started, getting us going. I'm going to need a kitchen as soon as he does that. So let's go to architect, and let's go to orders, and we'll design out a kitchen. Now a kitchen doesn't have to be very big at all. What was this that I had done? Oh, that was just stuff I wasn't going to need. So we'll start our kitchen based off of that. All right, so a kitchen doesn't have to be very big, because a kitchen only needs 2 things. It needs a butcher's table, and it needs your cooking table. And each of those are 1 by 3. So we're going to run a butcher's table right there, and then we'll put a cooking table right there, and then we'll come across like so. And we want it to be spacious, at least to the point to where they're not freaking out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do it that big. That way, maybe we'll get the spacious buff. I doubt it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could go 1 more over, just because we've got the room. It's not. We're not in this environment. You're not really, confined, other than the fact that you have to defend it all if you start getting invaded. But people will generally run past stuff and work their way to you. So unless you start getting bombarded. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6. That let's go 1 more down to give them another variance of room, and then we'll clear this up. and then I'll put my things here and there, and that won't make it look so funny when this one leads into the dining hall. So the dining hall is going to be about that big. There's not going to be a lot in it except for tables and chairs. In fact, I can see how much I'm going to need for that, and they're not going to be central or centered. It's 2 by 4, I think, or 5, and then I'll put another little 2 by 4 by 2 table, chairs around it, and that's all that's going to be in there. That's it. Now, my kitchen, the reason that I did it like this was because I have to build a cooler off of it. So we're going to build the cooler like so. I don't know if we can build over this, and I'm not really wanting to try. So we can come up to about there, come across to there, and then take our cooler up to there. And this will be our cooler. Looks big. Trust me, it's really not. That's actually small. In fact, as soon as I destroy all this, I'll probably end up having to extend it further out or further over this way. In fact, we might start with it extended further over this way. So I might go ahead and bring it over like so, and then come down with it like so and across, and then we'll get rid of this. And it looks like it's huge, humongous, but like I said, I had one about that big, and I filled that sucker full of potatoes, strawberries, and mostly meat. I had like 3,000 meat in there, and 2,000 or 3,000 potatoes, and a couple thousand strawberries, and it just fills it up, because each little square is only 64 or so of a material type. I think it's 64. Yeah, I can't see any. I see them up to 60, but I don't see a full one. I think it's 64 though. 62, 64, something like that. 32 and 32 to 64. So you'd think it would be based off that numbering algorithm that most people use in games. So I think it's 64. But anyhow, we've got to start. We've got going. We've got people doing stuff. Let's unpause it. What's Doc upset about? When they're red like that, it means that they're upset about something. He's cold. So what about his health? Is his health okay? Okay, he's shivering from hypothermia. All right, there's nothing I can do about that right now, Doc. You need to get busy, help these guys get these houses built. I can get you guys a campfire built then, and you can get rid of that. Cookie's not shivering yet? No. Left leg from an old gunshot, and Inzainia is okay. I think Doc's just got the least clothing on. Let's look at his gear. Yeah, t-shirt and pants. What is Inzainia in? Inzainia's at least got a jacket, and Doc's got or Cookie's got a jacket. So yeah, Doc doesn't have a jacket, so he's a little cold. Hopefully he won't go into hypothermic. If he does, Inzain can go grab him. But let's get this stuff built, son. There we go. They're going to get this, and if I have to, I'll put 3 bedrooms in this first deal. So let's get Cookie, and let's prioritize. Why won't it let me? Did I not click on Cookie? Oh, I'm on a cotton plant. Here, let's just do this. Cookie. Let's go and prioritize. Cookie is not a constructor. All right, that's one thing we need to change. So you need to go into overview. I'll reset this all offline, but right now we're going to just use very basic, let them construct. All right, so I need Cookie to prioritize working on them walls. I need Doc to prioritize working on, Cookie's already grabbed it, prioritize working on them walls. So go grab some wood, guys. Get over there and get busy helping Inzainia get this building done. It's freaking 44 degrees outside. We need to get inside. All right. So let's pause it. That's going to be the end of the first episode. If you guys really like this video and you want to see it played, you want to see more of it, by all means leave a comment. You know me, I'm going to do a few videos regardless. But depending upon comments, depending upon user reactions, likes, and all that other stuff, if I get a lot of likes, you know, then I'll keep going. We'll keep going, and we'll go all the way through a whole playthrough if you want to. If I only get like a like or two and, you know, no comments, nobody cares, nobody really gives a rat's ass about it, then I'll just move on to playing single player by myself or move on to something else, and then we'll find something else to put up on the YouTube channel. So it's your chance, guys. Let me know what you want. If you want to see this game, great. We'll keep playing this game. If you want to see something else, that's fine. Note that in the near future, we will also be putting up Timber and Stone when the new patch comes out, because I'm really excited to play that. When the next patch comes out for Stonehearth, I'll probably be playing that. Maybe can put some of that up if you want to see some of that. You know, No Moria's come out with a couple really good patches in the past 6 months. I've actually played a game of that and got pretty far, but I didn't record it. You know, all this other games, Factorio, come out. They're really, really close to having a perfect, stable multiplayer. So if one of you guys want to play some multiplayer Factorio and be recorded and make a presence on YouTube, that's highly capable of happening. You know, so, you know, give me some words, some feedback. Let me know what you guys want to see. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.